Inside this beautiful blue box lies the Honor 6X, the newest and cheapest phone from Huawei. Decent specs for a budget phone. It even has dual rear cameras, an octa-core processor, and 3 gigs of RAM. But we're not here for specs, we're here for durability. So let's see what this Honor phone has to offer. As always, let's start with the part where we count to 9, also called the scratch test. Each of my Moz picks have a different tip that gradually increases in hardness. I start off with the level 2 pick and saw that it was leaving a mark on the screen, which is incredible and unheard of. The included screen protector almost fooled me. It does make you wonder why they included a screen protector. Are they worried about the glass underneath? After removing the screen protector and restarting the scratch test on the actual surface of the phone, I see that levels 4, 5, 6, and 7 all left a mark. And now we see the reason for the screen protector. The glass underneath is not scratch resistant. Now these scratches could be caused by a few things: soft glass, imperfections in the glass, or some kind of weird residue on the screen. Everyday objects are able to leave a mark as well. My tweezers left a pretty decent groove, and my razor blade also left a mark. Neither of the marks could be rubbed off with a cloth, and neither the tweezers nor the razor would leave a mark on a normal tempered glass screen, since most of the phones I test these days do scratch at a level 6. Another weird thing about this glass is when I peeled off the sticker with my numbers on it, it did not come clean off of the phone. I've used these same stickers for all 50 other phones that I've tested, and they always come off clean. So there's definitely something funky going on with the glass on the 6X. Either way, leave that plastic screen protector in place if you want to keep your phone looking good. And when that included screen protector gets worn out, replace it with another one. The front earpiece grill is made out of metal, which would qualify as a durable material. And the opening is small enough that it's not going to be a big collector of dirt and grime, so that's good news. The front camera is protected by the same glass that covers the screen, so just make sure you're careful. The rear camera lens is not affected by my razor blade, which is fantastically good news. Huawei didn't use the same glass back here that was used on the display of the phone, so a big thumbs up for protecting the dual camera setup. And now for the back panel. If it's cold like metal and screeches like metal, we can safely assume that it's metal. Now, a lot of people think that my name is Jerry, which I can totally see why they would think that, since my YouTube channel is called Jerry Rig Everything. My real name is Zach though, and that's why my Instagram and Twitter handle is Zach's Jerry Rig. It combines both my real name and my YouTube channel name. See what I did there? The sides of the phone are also made from metal, even the SIM card tray is metal, so that's definitely a plus. When we get to the top of the phone, we see some plastic come into the build. That's mostly fine with a budget phone like this. You can see the silver and black color differences. Plastic will probably provide a bit more give and cushion for the screen during a drop, more than metal would anyway. So as far as durability goes, it's still okay. I'm mostly just happy that it has a headphone jack. The more useful features a phone has, the better. It has a micro USB charging port at the bottom of the phone, and the base of the phone is also made of plastic, same as the top. There are always pros and cons to having plastic integrated into the build, but I'll talk more about that in just a second. The side buttons are also plastic, so they don't have that premium metal feel, but this is a budget device, and plastic is cheaper to work with than metal is, so it's not surprising that a lot of the things are plastic. I do test the fingerprint scanner on every phone I buy to see how well it stands up to scratches. I think we can all agree that this is more scratched up than could ever happen naturally, unless you're Edward Scissorhands, of course. The enrollment and fingerprint recognition of this phone did fail after the scratching, unfortunately. There are other phones that can survive an equally scratched sensor like the Honor 8 or the LG V20, but this phone did not. So just make sure not to obliterate yours with a razor like I did. The Honor 6X lasted 12 seconds under the flame before turning black. We can tell this screen is an IPS display because of that color change. AMOLED screens turn white and usually don't recover. Kind of fun. The phone is completely cool to the touch within seconds of the heat being removed from the screen, and it still functions just like normal. And now it's time for the bin test. I've tested about 50 different phones on my YouTube channel. I agree, it's a slightly strange hobby. I've only had 5 of these 50 phones catastrophically fail. Most phones are pretty well built, budget phones included among the flagships. But this phone in particular doesn't quite make it. The exterior glass doesn't look too bad. It's more the LCD under the glass that cracked and shattered. That's the unfortunate part. Even though the fractured LCD looks cool, the phone is now unusable. If I pop off the back, which is actually pretty easy to do, we can see why the phone flexed. There are 0 screws holding that back metal panel to the frame of the phone. So while it does have metal on the back panel, that metal is adding 0 structural support to the phone. The only thing holding the back panel in place was those flexible plastic end caps. We saw this exact same problem with the Redmi Note 3, which is also perched on my shelf of shame. Here's another shot of the glass on the Honor 6X being just fine. It's the LCD under the glass that is destroyed. Very weird for it to happen on a bin like that. The glass can flex, but the LCD can't. Just for kicks and giggles, I'll flex the top glass one more time. Look how far it bent before it finally shattered and gave up the ghost. Between the non-structural back panel and the weak LCD, we have a recipe for a fragile phone. The front glass can only protect it so much. It also makes you wonder if the LCD will be weak during drops as well. But anyway, back to comparing to the Redmi Note 3, the Note 3 also snapped in half for the same reason that the Honor 6X did. There is no structural integrity offered by that back metal panel. It bails out and pops off as soon as the going gets tough. So if manufacturers want to build a sturdy phone, the back panel needs to be physically attached to the frame at multiple points to add some strength. Now, just because the phone itself is cheap in price, that doesn't mean that the construction has to be. Plenty of budget phones have passed my test. And there are plenty of screws inside the Honor 6X. Huawei just has to stick some of them through the back panel, and then the back can be structural and not just aesthetic. Either way, I'm just here to review durability, and the Honor 6X is definitely the newest member on the shelf of shame, but that doesn't make it a bad phone. If you own this device, just make sure it has a case and a screen protector, and that you don't scratch the fingerprint scanner, and you'll be golden. If you need a durable phone in your life from the Honor family, check out the Honor 8. That phone passed my test with flying colors. Thanks for watching. I'll see you around.